And we are back at it here, live and local from Studio 3, we'll say, in downtown Wenatchee. I am Dan Kuntz. It is the 7th day of August, 2024. It's Wednesday, and it's Winning Wednesday. And I just remembered we don't have that thing anymore that Malcolm made a few years ago. Heaven, I keep forgetting we don't have that. Winning Wednesday, we're going to have 5 winners today, 5 of them. And they're all going to get a chance to go to the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake next week for free. Here's what we got for you, all right? First of all, I got these. Got a whole bunch. Check this out, huh? Isn't this sweet? These are lounge passes to see country group Diamond Rio 1 week from tomorrow on Thursday, August 15th. Lounge passes means, first of all, you get into the fair for free on that day, Thursday the 15th. You get really good seats, private seats with all kinds of cool stuff. It's like these are run like $35 a pop, and I got 4 of them. So one person's going to win 4 of these. And the lanyards are kind of cool. You know, you get to wear them, and it makes you look important. And if that wasn't enough, I got tickets, like tons of them, gobs of them. So 5 winners. One person is going to win the 4 lounge passes, so you can take you and 3 of your friends to see Diamond Rio with the best seats in the house and all kinds of cool stuff. You got to put Diamond Rio in on the subject line when you send me in your email, winner@ncwlife.com. The other 4 people are each going to win 10 general admission tickets to the Grant County Fair. You can use them for any day you want, or you can break them up and use them for different days, because you got 10 of them. So if it's like 3 of you, you can pretty much get into the gate for free. So we're going to have 5 winners on the subject line specifically if you want the Diamond Rio lounge passes for their concert next Thursday night, 1 week from tomorrow, Thursday the 15th, at the Grant County Fair. Put Diamond Rio in on the subject line. If you don't put Diamond Rio in on the subject line, I'm putting you in for the drawing for the general admission tickets. And again, the 4 winners of the general admission tickets are each going to win 10 tickets each. I got a lot of tickets to give away. Winner@ncwlife.com is the email address. I think you know that by now. Winner@ncwlife.com. You enter via email, because everybody has an email address. You know what the rules are by now. First of all, if you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once. That's not a problem. But you can only enter 1 time per email address. Employees of local telecommunications solely on broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Grant, you can't win. Again, in the subject line, if you specifically want the lounge seats, the really good seats with the lanyard and all that cool stuff, to see Diamond Rio on Thursday the 15th, put Diamond Rio in on the subject line. If you don't, I'm putting you in the drawing for one of the 4 10-packs of tickets. Did we get through all of that? Winner@ncwlife.com will do the drawing tomorrow. All right, thanks to our friends at the Grant County Fair. It's fair time. Almost. You got the Grant County Fair, the NCW District Fair, and then the weekend after Labor Day, you got the Chelan County Fair. We all hope that you fare fair at the fair this year. It is 68 mild degrees, a little hazy, and we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday, today, only no wind. We had quite a bit of wind yesterday afternoon. At one point around 7 o'clock last night, or I guess we can still call it night, we had a gust of Painborn at over 30 miles an hour. It got pretty windy. No wind in the forecast today. Lots of sunshine, a little unsettled on Friday. Forecast details are coming up. Obviously, it's the day after the primary election day. We'll have the latest results. There are a lot of ballots yet to be counted. I mean, a lot of them. So a lot of these races we're going to talk about are nowhere near to be decided. We'll let you know who's leading and who has a better chance than others to move on to the November general election. That'll be our lead story. A lot of election news and other news as well. Sports, same old for the Mariners. Pitching wasn't bad. Offense was anemic. They lost to the Tigers, which is not a very good team. Apple Sox lost too, but even though they lost, they won the West Coast League's Northern Division second half title. They already won the first half title. Now they're the second half champions as well. We like that. We'll talk about the Apple Sox. And today is Purple Heart Day. And we have a special feature. Our very own Casey Safford sat down with Butch Seiler, a Vietnam War veteran who's going to tell his story. They're having a special thing today at the Pybus Public Market tonight from 5 to 7 to commemorate Purple Heart Day. So Casey sat down with Butch. We'll have that interview with you, for you anyway. In the back half of the program, I've done talking enough. Let's do our tour. This is the highlight of the show normally for most people. At least that's what they told me. A little hazy. Air quality isn't bad. Slightly hazier today than it was yesterday at this time. We hit 95 on Tuesday, and we hit 95 on Monday. We're going to hit about 95 today, and we're going to be in the lower 90s anyway through the rest of the week. Again, a little unsettled Friday night and Saturday from our Wenatchee Heights camera. The Union Valley camera is looking out over Wapato Point towards Manson in the Smoky area up near Lake Chelan. It was not a bad day for the Pioneer Fire yesterday because it kind of blew back into itself. It was burning in areas that had already been burned. Got pretty close to a couple of structures, but the fire lines have been held, but still, it's pretty smoky. So that's the Union Valley camera. It's actually quite a ways away from Manson and Wapato Point, but still, we have a nice view there from our Union Valley camera. Let's head on up to Lake Wenatchee, where they're still plucking the salmon out of the lake in big numbers. They had over 100,000 salmon go past the Tumwater Dam up the Wenatchee River towards Lake Wenatchee. That is a lot of salmon, and I love my salmon. Enjoy your morning, fishermen. Most of them will be off the water by about 9 o'clock this morning. And let's head and see what the Senator George Seller Bridge looks like. And it looks something like that, the Senator George Seller Bridge, the lifeblood. Can you imagine what this valley would be like without that bridge? Well, let's just say the Otabashian Bridge would be a lot busier. That's a view from the Senator George Seller Bridge, although I must say I don't know what camera that is. Looks probably the Cascadian, I'm guessing, since we can see Fred Meyer in the background. All right, right to the forecast we go. Pretty quiet, all things considered, a little hazy outside of that. Sunshine for the most part. If you liked yesterday, we're going to do it again today, just no wind. Very little wind at all. High of 95, our normal high is 89. It's been a hot August, just like it was in July. Clear tonight, 68 for the overnight low. We'll do it again on Thursday. No wind in the forecast, high of 94. We'll get up to 93 on Friday with sunshine. And then Friday night, a weak system rolls through. That's a mistake. It's not going to be 106 on Friday. It's going to be 93. I don't know. Don't worry about it. That's a typo. It happens in this line of work. So again, the high on Friday is 93. Slight chance of some light rain Friday night and Saturday. Saturday will top off at 93, 92 Sunday, 88 Monday, 87 Tuesday. So a little cool down coming our way. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the days are, in fact, getting shorter by about 3 minutes a day now in the Wenatchee Valley. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, primary election results. The numbers so far. The news is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Winning Wednesday edition on the NCW Life channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Breezy sunshine, 68 degrees, mid-90s again today, but no wind. Mid-90s again Thursday, slightly cooler with a slight chance of some light rain Friday night, spilling into Saturday. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The first dump of ballots for the primary election is out, with a lot of ballots still yet to be counted. Before we get into the results so far, just a quick caveat. In Chelan County, they have counted 12,077 ballots, but they still have a little over 7,000 ballots yet to count. That's a lot. It's even more in Douglas County. They only have a little over 4,000 ballots that have been counted, and they still got about 6,000 ballots left to be counted. So a lot of these races are still up in the air, but here's what we have so far, and we'll start out with retiring state senator Brad Hawkins, who captured the lion's share of votes in the race to become Chelan County's newest commissioner. The Republican legislature earned a lot of votes, 2,700 votes out of about 4,300 cast. This is for Chelan County's 3rd district, so he is moving on to the November ballot. If those numbers hold, he'll be facing Wenatchee property developer Flint Hartwig, who's also a Republican. Of course, Commissioner Tiffany Gehring is not running for re-election. Flint Hartwig is in 2nd place right now, but again, that could very well change by the next ballot dump. In Douglas County, Rock Island Mayor Randy Agnew holds a more modest lead to become the District 2 County Commissioner. About 1,200 votes counted just in District 2, because only those people who live there can vote in the primary. So Randy Agnew has 327 votes. His nearest competitor, Waterville Bank executive Katie Schaefer, she has 282 votes. Both ran as Republicans, but of course, as we already mentioned, the balance could shift when Douglas County conducts its next ballot drop. That will be on Friday morning. State legislative races. Longtime 12th District Representative Keith Gaynor holds the edge to become the new state senator out of the 12th District. Gaynor is a Republican out of Dryden. He polled in more than 54% over his Democratic challenger, Jim Mayhew of Snoqualmie. They will both move on to the general election. Former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett also appears headed to the November ballot for the 12th District State Representative seat. He got 40% in a 3-way race. Democrat Heather Colin of North Bend holds the lead in that race. This election could test where the center of power lies in the 12th District. Of course, it was heavily redrawn by a federal court order earlier this year. In the 7th District, which is a really big district, it includes all of Douglas County plus a little bit of Wenatchee. Republican congressional staffer Andrew Engel of Colville heads to the general election for the race. He has a lead over Tonasket City Council member Tegan Levine. Those numbers probably won't change, or at least the results won't change. The numbers certainly will. In the 2nd state representative slot, Hunter Abel, another Republican out of Colville, will face Democrat Paul Rocky Dean of Springdale. Of course, Trump loyalist Jared Sessler is leading in a crowded field of candidates for the 4th congressional district. In fact, he's ahead of the incumbent, Dan Newhouse. Sessler getting nearly 30% of the 70,000 votes cast so far. Newhouse, of course, was famously among the 10 Republicans who voted for Trump's impeachment after the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol, but he has a fighting chance to move on to the general election. A little bit easier for Kim Schreier in the 8th District. She had an easier go of it. She has a 51% vote lead in the 4-way primary. Republican commercial banker Carmen Gowers of Auburn will be on the ballot to try and take the seat come November. And the proposal to fund the Wenatchee Valley Fire Departments through a fire benefit charge in lieu of property taxes has passed overwhelmingly. Voters in both Chelan and Douglas counties had to approve the measure by a 60% supermajority. No problems there. It sailed through by an average of 66%. Again, just to recap, there are a lot of ballots still to be counted in both Chelan and Douglas County. Chelan County's next ballot dump will be Friday afternoon at 4:30. Douglas County's next ballot dump will be Friday morning at 10 a.m. There is more news. An 18-year-old East Wenatchee man was sentenced to 15 months last week for his part in a gunfire and graffiti incident at Lee Elementary School. Enrique Augustin Torres pled guilty on Thursday in Douglas County Court to counts of unlawful firearm possession and malicious mischief. East Wenatchee police arrested Torres back on May 31st, 2 weeks after Eastmont school officials found gang graffiti on portable classrooms outside of Lee and reviewed surveillance footage of a person firing a handgun on school grounds at about 2 a.m. in the morning. In exchange for his plea, prosecutors dropped one charge that alleged Torres used an illegally modified firearm during that crime. Judge Brian Huber imposed the sentence. He's scheduled to decide next week whether Torres has to pay costs for the property damage. Moses Lake High School students raised over $100,000 in just an hour for extracurricular activities on Monday. The students brought fully charged phones to an event that was called the Hour-a-thon, where they called a list of people asking for them to make donations for extracurricular activities. Of course, the Moses Lake School District has a $20 million budget crisis, and that's led to a lot of layoffs in staff and the inability to put on extracurricular activities, including sports programs, who may be cut back rather severely. The Hour-a-thon was put together by the Community Athletics and Activities nonprofit. They're hoping to raise $2.6 million to fully fund all athletics and activity programs in the district for the upcoming school year. As of yesterday morning, the Hour-a-thon has raised about $125,000. Other online donations are sitting just under $300,000. Construction will temporarily close the Upper Pearl Hill Bridge. It'll begin later on this month. The bridge sustained significant damage during the Pearl Hill fire back in 2020. It's had weight restrictions on it ever since, so they're going to replace it. It's a $3 million project. It'll include wider lanes and shoulders for enhanced safety and capacity. It's funded by a grant from the Washington State Department of Transportation's local bridge program. Other parts of the project include the demolition of the existing bridge. They're going to install prefabricated bridge sections and the reconstruction of the bridge approaches, guardrails, and signage. The closure begins on Monday, August 19th. It's estimated to continue into mid-November. And Wenatchee Valley College is preparing for new students to join them this fall. Students and their families are invited to the Excellence event in September. They're going to help students navigate their first year in college. It can be confusing. Students will learn about advising, navigation support at Wenatchee Valley College, and they'll also hear about college expectations and common challenges when you're in your first year of college. Family workshops will be held in Spanish with English interpretation. They'll be held simultaneously, and attendees will learn how to best support their student. The workshops are scheduled for September 5th and September 18th at the Wenatchee campus and September 12th at the OMAC campus. It'll go from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Whew. That's a lot of news. And we got a whole Wednesday ahead of us. So if you're interested in what's going on around here, watch the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. That's when we air it on television, 5, 6, and 10. If you have a smart TV or a smart device, or you use your computer, whatever it is, we got you covered. Our newscast will be up and running right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon on our homepage, ncwlife.com. We put it on our Facebook page. We put it on our YouTube page. We have an X, formerly Twitter, formerly X. We got Instagram. We got an app. It's right there. Well, it's not right there, but you can download it by taking an old QR, and you're QRing away. And if there's something out there that you think is newsworthy, let us know about it. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Mariner baseball, Apple Sox baseball, kind of even. We'll explain when we come back. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Swung on and hits on a hop past the shortstop. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are in the West Coast League playoffs, and NCW Life Channel has you covered. Join us for the divisional round this Sunday at 6:30. Coverage is brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Gold supporter, Town Auto Group, also by Plum Crow Bar and Grill, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, AmeriCorps, and Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Join us for the playoffs right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Third with a hit for slide.
21 minutes after the hour, the Seattle Mariners find themselves with just a half-game lead, itty-bitty lead. In the American League West this morning, another anemic offensive performance last night against the Tigers. Seattle struck out 14 times in a 4-2 loss at T-Mobile Park.
Dan Dickerson played it cool. Base hit center field. Parker Meadows gives the Tigers the first lead tonight. So look, A.J. Hinch said this before the game. This could be the type of game where you have to play a little small ball, and he's not a big bunter or anything like that. You get a runner into scoring position, ground ball, base hit, 1-0. Can Colt Keith hit the ball in the air? It's on the ground to first and through, past Raley. Could have been 2, instead it's 2-0. Wow.
Castillo got the ground ball. You see, just Raley just doesn't continue over towards the ball. He just kind of reached for it instead of continuing with his feet over towards the ball. Just thinks he's going to just be able to just reach and grab it. It goes.
Here's a ground ball base hit right side. The Tigers are playing first to third bingo here in Seattle. This throw is not in time. 3-0 Tigers.
It's another good job of Wenzel just using that hole over there between first and second. And another base hit. Colt Keith gets over to third base, and they just keep first to third in the Mariners.
Raley sends this deep out to center field, and this ball is gone. Luke Raley checks in with a 5th inning homer and puts the Mariners on the board.
Montero getting that break ball over for a strike. Riley was sitting on it, straightaway center field.
I see a Mariner response right there for Luke, his second home run on this homestand. He is now 3 for 11, 2 home runs and 6 RBI.
Soft served into right field for a base hit. Baez makes a turn into third. Meanwhile, Vierling hunts for second. Here's the tag by Dylan Moore, and he's cut down at second base. Mitch Haniger on the money.
Yeah, Vierling trying to stretch that single into a double, but Mitch Haniger trying to hit the cut as opposed to going to the base. Sees him in his peripheral vision. Guns him down. Good throw.
Kind of jams up Polanco from short right field on a skip, and in time. Let's see if the Tigers want to look at it or not. As it stands, it's a scoreless 7th. Spun
after the hit by pitch. Oh boy, that ball's drilled. This is an absolute no-doubter. Parker Meadows, with that sound, just became a garage band by himself here in Seattle.
After not getting that run in the 7th inning to come back and get that 2-out home run from Parker Meadows, got a good pitch to drive, but kept that really same kind of quick stroke. It was up there with a good plan, too.
3-2. Fly ball hanging up right center field, does not have enough to it, and drops in. Nobody caught the ball. Meadows and Perez were in a staring contest, and the game lives with 2 outs in the 9th.
Wow. Yeah, wow indeed, but it wasn't enough. Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with George Kirby taking on the ace of the Tigers staff. Tariq Skubal he's in the driver's seat for the Cy Young Award, I think, this year. First pitch tonight on Root Sports, by the way, is at 6:40. As I mentioned, the Mariners' lead now is just a half a game. Framber Valdez gave up a home run with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and that broke up a no-hitter. But the Astros still beat the Rangers 4-2. The White Sox won. Break up the White Sox. Their 21-game losing streak is over. They beat the Athletics in front of a sold-out crowd in Oakland 5-1. The Angels and the Yankees got rained out because of Tropical Storm Debbie. Cam Hoyland tossed a season-high 7 innings, but the Apple Sox fell to the Bend Elks 4-1 last night in Bend. Hoyland surrendered 3 runs, struck out 3, but he suffered his second straight loss. The voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has the wrap.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox bats were held to just 1 run for the second time in their last 3 games as they fell to the Bend Elks by 4-1 score on Tuesday night at Vince Ganna Stadium. Cam Hoyland tossed a season-high 7 innings, surrendering 3 runs in that time, but the Apple Sox couldn't get a whole lot going at the plate, collecting only 4 hits. Max Hartman had half of that total, with his second hit driving in Wenatchee's only run in the top of the 5th. Wenatchee will look to bounce back as it faces Bend again at 6:35 on Wednesday night in the penultimate game of the 2024 regular season. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
So they lost, but they won. Wenatchee wins the Northern Division's second half title. They had already won the first half title because they have basically Victoria and Bellingham losing last night means that they cannot catch the Apple Sox regardless of what happens for the rest of the regular season. So there you go. Way to go, Apple Sox. To the West Coast League scoreboard, as we already mentioned, Bend beat Wenatchee 4-1. There's Bellingham losing to Springfield, just what we needed, 12-9. And Victoria losing a 1-run to Corvallis, 5-4. Elsewhere in the league, Calais beat Port Angeles. It was Yakima Valley over Kamloops. Edmonton knocked off Nanaimo. Walla Walla over Ridgefield, and Portland crushed Kelowna 15-0. So we know the Apple Sox are going to be in the playoffs. We know they will host Game 2 Sunday at 6:30. There are no days off in the postseason. The regular season wraps up Thursday. Friday is an off day. Saturday, the Apple Sox will be on the road. We don't know where yet. We still haven't figured that out yet. There's still some math to be worked out. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series will be Sunday. We'll have it right here for you at 6:30 on the NCAA Live channel. If it's Game 3, if they make it all the way to the end, that will be on Monday, again, at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 28 minutes after the hour. I already mentioned it's Purple Heart Day. We'll get to more on that in just a little bit. It is Independence Day in the Ivory Coast. So we want to wish all of your viewers out there in the Ivory Coast happy Independence Day. They have the internet there. They might be watching the show. I don't know. It's National Raspberries and Cream Day. It's Professional Speakers Day. It's Particularly Preposterous Packaging Day. This is a tribute to all those days where little bitty expensive things they're put in great big packages so you can't steal them. But no, we're not doing any of those things. Today is National Lighthouse Day. I'm a sucker for lighthouses. I really am. The first lighthouse in colonial America was built way back in 1716, but it wasn't until the United States became the United States, and one of the first acts that Congress actually passed was the Lighthouse Act of 1789, and that put the construction, maintenance, and upkeep on the federal government. By the way, the General Services Administration, who maintains them, they're giving away 6 lighthouses to governments or nonprofits that are willing to maintain them. They're also going to sell 4 other lighthouses at auction. That's kind of it. You want to buy yourself a lighthouse? There's some for sale. Check it out. Who do you think, what state would you think has the most lighthouses? Now, if you think about it, you would think like maybe Maine or someplace along the East Coast where lighthouses were built, maybe California because it's got such a huge coast. No, it's actually Michigan. It makes sense, the Great Lakes after all. Michigan has the most lighthouses. They have 150. Maine only has 57, which I thought was surprising. How many active lighthouses are there in our state? There are 18 active lighthouses. There are a few that have been deactivated, but they're still standing. The oldest lighthouse in our state is at Cape Disappointment, right where the Columbia flows into the Pacific Ocean. It was built in 1856. It was automated in 1973, so nobody lives there anymore, but you can visit it. And my favorite fact about lighthouses, there are 2 lighthouses in Nebraska. They don't do anything. They're just tourist attractions. Yes. 2 lighthouses in a state with no water. Anyway, National Lighthouse Day today. Enjoy it with somebody you love. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history. We mention it as Purple Heart Day because it was on this date in 1782. 242 years ago today that George Washington orders the creation of what was called at the time the Badge of Military Merit to honor soldiers wounded in battle. It has since, of course, been renamed the Purple Heart. George Washington himself only awarded 3 Purple Hearts to Revolutionary War soldiers, but his underlings, his senior officers, were free to award Purple Hearts to those people who deserved it. The Purple Heart Medal was never abolished, but it was also not handed out again until World War I. So the War of 1812 and the Civil War and the Spanish-American War, all of those veterans, they didn't get Purple Hearts if they were wounded in battle, but if you were a living veteran in the intervening wars, you were eligible to apply for a Purple Heart retroactively. It was not revived until World War I. During World War II, they made 1,500,000 Purple Hearts because they figured there was going to be a lot of casualties when we eventually invaded Japan. Of course, we didn't invade Japan. So in the intervening years, of the 1,500,000, some were lost, some were stolen, some were wasted, but they still had 500,000 left over of all of those Purple Hearts they manufactured. And so to the present date, the combined American military casualties of all those wars since World War II, that includes Korea and Vietnam and all the other ones, hasn't exceeded that number. So if you want a Purple Heart recently, it may have actually been manufactured in 1944. It's a possibility anyway. It is Purple Heart Day today. 60 years ago today, Congress said we don't want to declare war no more. The Constitution is very plain. Congress, and only Congress, has the power to declare war. Congress said, nah, we're not going to do that anymore. Congress passes the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which basically gave President Lyndon B. Johnson all the war power he needed to attack the North Vietnamese. The Tonkin Gulf. Of course, it was a sham. There was nothing really there, but he used it as leverage. The Senate debated the resolution for 9 hours. The House debated the resolution for 40 minutes. This changed American history. The House vote was 416 to nothing. In the Senate, only 2 senators voted no. Wayne Morse of Oregon and Ernest Gruning of Alaska, and they voted no because they said that the Congress, and only the Congress, can declare war, and basically what we're doing is declaring war without declaring war. We ain't going to do that. Of course, it gave Lyndon Johnson authorization without Congress's approval to wage war, and this is what Congress has done ever since. With every war we have ever fought since this date 60 years ago today, Congress has not declared it. They just write the president a blank check and tell him to keep in touch. Good job, Congress, not doing your job. And this is the 50th anniversary of one of the most it's just crazy. This will be in the news today. You won't be able to miss it. It's one thing to walk a tightrope. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's another thing to walk a tightrope a quarter of a mile above the street, but Philippe Petit, after 4 years of planning, no, I'm sorry, like 6 years of planning, did this. Check this out.
I'll tell you what, I have a very queasy feeling in my stomach right now because I'm at, let's see, 1,500 feet. And up here at 1,500 feet, or in that area, there is somebody out there in a tightrope walk between the 2 towers of the World Trade Center, right at the tippy top.
That somebody was Philippe Petit, a 24-year-old Frenchman, doing his higher wire act 1,350 feet up and no net below. He and some associates managed to hide out in the World Trade Center towers overnight, and early this morning rigged a 140-foot steel cable between the 2 buildings using some sort of crossbow device. Petit enthralled hundreds of people below, prancing about for more than an hour. But police in the audience decided Petit was better off in a police station, handcuffed securely to a chair.
Why did you do this? That's the thousand why in this morning. There is no why. Just because when I see a beautiful place to put my wire, I cannot resist.
Sergeant Charles Daniels, who talked Petit off the high wire, called it a first-rate performance.
He was bouncing up and down. His feet were actually leaving the wire, and then he would resettle back on the wire again. And then he would go down on one knee, and he'd balance his hand pole and lay down on his back and put his hands behind his neck and just completely relax and swing one of his legs over the wire in a carefree manner.
Was he laughing and smiling?
Well, not when he would do that. He would just lay there and relax as if he wanted to just take a little nap.
As spectacular sights go, how would you rate this one?
Supreme. The apex of excitement.
Absolutely crazy. It was 50 years ago today. There's a movie. It came out in 2008. It's a documentary. It's fascinating. You should absolutely watch it. It's called Man in a Wire. It won a bunch of awards. The district attorney, by the way, after it was all said and done, dropped all charges of trespassing and other items related to his little stunt on the condition that Philippe Petit gives a free aerial show for kids in Central Park. He did so a couple of weeks later. By the way, because it gave so much positive vibes and publicity to the World Trade Center, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey gave Philippe Petit a lifetime pass to the observation deck at the World Trade Center 50 years ago today. Whew. That takes some chutzpah. Birthdays, two heavenly birthdays. Carl Switzer, you remember him, Alfalfa and Our Gang, born in the state in 1927, and like a lot of childhood stars in cinema, the rest of his adult life did not go very well. For Carl Switzer, he was murdered in a business dispute in 1959 at the age of 31, probably the most famous of the Our Gang kids. Carl Switzer, born in the state in 1927. One of the most remarkable baseball feats of all time was performed by this gentleman, Don Larson. Born in the state in 1929, we lost Don 4 years ago at the age of 90. Of course, he pitched a perfect game for the New York Yankees against the Brooklyn Dodgers in Game 5 of the 1956 World Series. An absolutely remarkable achievement. Nobody's ever come close to doing that. Celebrating 69 today, hello, Newman. Wayne Knight, his character Newman, was ranked #1 on TV.com's list of the 10 most annoying neighbors. #1. He now does voiceover work. He's still working. He's 69 years old today. And Charlize Theron is 49 years old today. The Devil's Advocate, Mighty Joe Young, Cider House Rules. I remember going to see the movie Monster when it came out. She won the Academy Award. You wouldn't even know it was her. Charlize Theron, not just a pretty face, she's a good actress, and she's 49 years old today. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air, for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. This has been a real test for your air conditioning and HVAC units this summer. If you think something ain't right, Alpine Air, always your first call. Still to come, Mike Minotti has an opinion about affordable housing. And then today is Purple Heart Day. They're going to have commemorations at the Pybus Public Market from 5 to 7 today. Our very own Casey Safford had a chance to talk to Butch Seiler, a Vietnam War veteran, about his Purple Heart. That's coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel. If your chair is comfortable and still fits, don't toss it. Reupholster it at Wenatchee Upholstery. The sky is the limit. From new upholstery in your favorite car to upgrading your seats in the boats. Everything old can be new again when you call Joe. Personalize your golf cart, grandma's chair, your favorite bar stool. Trust your treasure with Wenatchee Upholstery.
Don't miss the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake, August 13th through the 17th. Leading the entertainment list is Diamond Rio, Thursday, August 15th, with special guest Katie Wade. Friday night is 90s favorite Chingy with special guest DJ Precise. And Wednesday night, two of the best tribute bands in the country, Best of Both Worlds, a Van Halen tribute, and Crazy Train, an Ozzy tribute. VIP tickets are available at gcfairgrounds.com.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. And I'm going to bet, with housing prices where they are these days, we're going to see a return to, or at least a new phenomenon of multi-extended family or extended generational family living. You know, if the average family income was about $57,000 and the average home price being $450,000, I mean, come on, we can't see how new home ownership for a single family is going to be feasible. Extended family members or multiple families sharing a home and mortgage is probably going to become a new trend. Good thing or bad? Well, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't mind if my daughter's family moved in with us in the same house, but my son? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Swung on and hit on a hop past the shortstop. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are in the West Coast League playoffs, and NCW Life Channel has you covered. Join us for the divisional round this Sunday at 6:30. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Join us for the playoffs on the NCW Life Channel. Third with a hit for slide. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
It's that time of year to get the springtime toys ready. Doghouse Motorsports has everything you need to get the show on the road or the trail. If a new machine is in the plan, Doghouse now has a complete inventory from which to choose. So get ready to ride. When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works Shared Membership Model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Hello
everyone. A ceremony commemorating the local region as a Purple Heart community is set to take place this Wednesday at Pybus Public Market. Here today with me is a local Purple Heart recipient, Leslie Butch Seiler. And Leslie, thank you so much for being here today. Before I get into any questions, I first want to thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. I was going to go to college. I got drafted. I went in with a friend, and he said he was going to volunteer for the draft. And I was standing there, and I was looking at this board, and my name was there. I said, what's my name doing here? They said, those are the people going out next week. I said, I thought I was going to college. And she says, you must not have notified us that you were going to go to college. I was going to go to the 5th Street U. Well, so I said, I want to go with my buddy, the guy I went in with. And funny part is, he didn't pass the physical. I did. And so back I come, and then all of this, Fort Lewis, Fort Polk, Louisiana, and Vietnam.
Yeah, tell us a bit about your time in the service and what incident led to you being awarded a Purple Heart.
Well, we were out on a mission, and I think it was probably the third or fourth, fifth mission out. And by that time, I had went from 6-man to we moved in a battalion force. We were Charlie Company, and we were point for the battalion. In other words, a lot of rice paddies down there. They'd line up in the back of us, the other companies. And anyway, I ended up on a 4-man point team. And we would trade it off. There was Taylor. He was walking point the day we got into this mess. Garza was our 79-man, and Home was our Chuhai. And and me, a rifleman. And anyway, we went out on this mission. Holmes says there's a lot of booby traps here. There's a sign there. And the United States Army doesn't go around anything. Anyway, we started through. Taylor took point. I was walking 2nd man. He stopped as he was getting ready to go around a little bend in the trail, held up his hand. I turned to Home, who was walking 3rd man, and held up my hand for him to stop. And he took a step, and I was laying in a hole about that big. And it was strange. Taylor come running back to me, and he says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." I says, "Go see how Home is." He took the shrapnel. I just got a 2-inch cut on the bottom of my foot from the concussion and crushed my foot. And that's about it. I mean, they medevaced me out, and then I was 10 days short of a year in a cast.
Wow.
And I finally got to the Veterans Hospital. They threw me out. I was unfit for military duty then. And they got me over to the Veterans Hospital. Dr. Toomey put this thing together, and it's been a really good foot. The colonel at the Madigan, where I was for 7 months, wanted to cut it off. Major Travis says, "I'm not going to let him cut it off." And Major Travis has had a warm spot in my heart for years. But I got over there, and they finally got ready and put it back together, broke it up and put it back together. There was, I went to, from the aged boat or the barrack ship to Saigon to Camp Zama in Japan, and they picked bones out of it in each spot, except for the aid station. They didn't do anything there. That was just wrap it up and try to get the bleeding stopped. But it was quite an experience. It ruined my whole afternoon.
Yeah, it's amazing how vividly you remember it. You can tell that it was
it's pretty vivid.
So just to inform our viewers who may not know, a Purple Heart is a military award for members of the U.S. Armed Forces who have greatly sacrificed themselves or given their lives to their service for their country. So walk us through the moment that you received your Purple Heart. What thoughts and emotions and things were you going through in that moment of recognition?
Well, I was laying in Saigon, and here come this full bird colonel, and I thought, uh-oh, I start to set up, and I couldn't. But anyway, he says, no, son, just lay right there. And he handed me a Purple Heart, hooked it to my pillow. That was the first one. and then they awarded me different ones. I got full, cases of them and stuff.
You have cases of them?
Well, no. They come in a box, an awards box.
Like one of those presentation boxes.
Yeah, they've got a lapel pin, they've got the ribbon, they've got the Purple Heart.
So it's for the same one award, and you're kind of giving it in multiple.
Absolutely, they kept sending them. I got them in the mail, I got them all over the place. Well, I had enough that I gave each one of my 3 daughters one, and what else was on? Oh yeah, and a little picture and thing so it kind of turned out good.
So how did you feel when you received that? Just to have that recognition of your service and that harrowing moment that you went through.
You see, I always felt that if you got a Purple Heart, you made a mistake because you didn't get hidden and got shot, or else you end up on a landmine. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know that it really affected me in any emotional way by being given the Purple Heart. I was a little ashamed that I didn't finish my tour, but they threw me out.
I understand that you were planning on attending the Purple Heart ceremony that will be at Pybus.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about your take on our region making an effort to designate us as a Purple Heart community.
I think that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of us veterans that have Purple Hearts. I mean, and I was always impressed. I think Moses Lake is a Purple Heart city. And first time I heard that, I thought, well, that's cool. But I never thought about it. Tony called me there the other day and says, what do you think about, being able to get up and tell your story? God was with me. There's no way that people get on landmines and walk away. I hopped out on 1 foot.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone.
Watermill Winery Tasting Room has become a very popular downtown venue. Their wine club offers spectacular value at affordable prices. Watermill, open daily across from the convention center. The 108 is known for their amazing craft cocktails and happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. Next to Walkabout Grill on Wenatchee Avenue.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here.
All right, our favorite day of the week around here is Wednesdays, because when the opportunity presents itself, such as today, we give stuff away. So if you're just joining us, here's what I got. First of all, there's going to be a lot of winners today. Right here, I got 4. These are the cool little lanyards that you get to wear. This is for Diamond Rio. The country group Diamond Rio is going to be playing the Grant County Fair 1 week from tomorrow, Thursday, the 15th of August. And these are lounge passes. This is as good as it gets. And it's a lanyard. You get to wear them. They look kind of cool. And I got 4 of them for one lucky winner. Now, these suckers go for about $35 a pop. So this is like $100 and some odd dollar. I don't know. I don't even balance my own checkbook. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And by the way, fair admission comes with this for next Thursday at the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake. So send in your email, winner@ncwlife.com, but in the subject line, you got to put Diamond Rio in the subject line if you specifically want to win these 4 ultimate, super awesome seats to see Diamond Rio on the 15th. And if you don't put it in, you still have a chance, because I'm going to have 4 winners, and they're each going to get 10 tickets, general admission tickets, for entry into the fair. And this is for any day of the fair. So you could, and you're going to get 10 of them, so you could use 2 for one day and then save, 4 more for another day, and then 4 more for another day, or whatever the case may be. You can use them for any day you want or multiple days, doesn't matter to me. And 4 of these winners are each going to win 10 general admission tickets to the Grant County Fair. Winner@ncwlife.com. It's an email. That's how you do it. You know that by now. Winner@ncwlife.com, and you know the rules and the regulations and all that other stuff. It's 1 entry per email address. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once. You can't enter over and over and over and over and over and over again on the same email address. We keep track of these things, and it's very annoying. Employees of local communications, solely on broadcasting, and their media families are not eligible. Sorry, Alicia. And if you do not enter the contest, you cannot win. Again, if you specifically want the Diamond Rio kick butt tickets, 4 of them, so you can take you and 3 of your friends, or you, 1 of your friends, and 2 of your enemies. It doesn't matter to me. You have to put Diamond Rio in the subject line of your email. If you just want the tickets, you don't have to put anything in. You can just put tickets, or you can leave it blank or whatever. But specifically, if you want the Diamond Rio things, the passes, the lounge passes, it's pretty sweet. You have to put Diamond Rio in the subject line. I'll give you 24 hours. We'll do the drawing tomorrow morning when we close out Thursday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Up to 70 degrees, leading our temperature parade. Ephrata is already at 77 degrees. Another hot one today. We had 95 Monday. We had 95 yesterday. We had some wind yesterday afternoon, but it didn't really affect the Pioneer Fire, because it kind of blew the fire back into some areas of terrain that's already been burned with the Pioneer Fire and previous wildfires from decades past. So it was a pretty good day, all things considered, for the firefighters up around the Pioneer Fire near the Stehekin Village. That's good news. And there's no wind at all in the forecast into the weekend. In fact, we might even see a little bit of much needed rain. From the National Weather Service, one more look at what Mother Nature has in store for us today. A little hazy, maybe a little hazier than we had yesterday, but still lots of sunshine. And for the 3rd straight day, we should top off right around 95 degrees. It's August in north central Washington. A little hazy tonight. Outside of that, pretty clear. Overnight low about 68. We do it again on Thursday, maybe a degree cooler with a high of 94. Now, you see 106 on Friday. That's what we call in the business a typo. It's not going to be 106 on Friday. It'll be more like 93 or 94. But Friday night, a weak shortwave is going to bump into here, and that's going to give us about a 20% chance of showers on Friday night with an overnight low of 67. We close out the weekend Sunday with a high of 92. That is it for us. Have a good Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.